Welcome to Agents Without Borders. Today, we're thrilled to introduce Yamili Quezada, a dynamic Denver-based real estate agent and entrepreneur with nearly a decade of experience in the industry. From house flipping to helping clients find their dream homes, Yamili brings a wealth of knowledge and passion to everything she does. Let's dive in.
Today's guest is Yamili Quezada. I'm so excited to have her with us. Desi might be popping in later. She's with a client, so we're just going to get started. And Yamili is so cool. She's an entrepreneur, Denver-based real estate agent. She's got many hats. She started out as an investor and a house flipper, and then she transitioned into real estate. And she's been doing real estate for almost a decade now, I think, right? And
Yes.
she has just so many cool stories. So I met Emily almost 4 years ago at the first conference that I went to on my own. If you've been listening, you have heard Desi and I talk about this conference, and Yamili and I connected there immediately. We were both there solo, and it was just so nice. We got to know each other, and then ever since then, we've been following each other's journeys. And just recently we reconnected, and I found out that Yamili has started a new AI company called Jobi AI, which is an assistant company. And honestly, I feel like that's what we all need. I'm super excited to hear about this. So congratulations on that. And she's going to share all that with us. Welcome, Yamili. Thank you for joining us on Agents Without Borders.
Oh, thank you so much, Elizabeth. It's such a joy to be here. It truly is an honor when we continuously DM each other and we're like, hey, I love what you're doing. I love how you're growing a team and how you have a new office, and just to see your success in Canada and how we managed to stay in touch. Because, I'm originally from Mexico. And so for me, what you're doing with Agents Without Borders is huge. I really do think real estate is international, but it really starts locally. And so my heart is in service and when we can do for others here locally, but then also all across the world. And so I'm really in love with your mission.
Oh, thank you so much. That means so much to me. So now tell us a little bit about, I was reading your story, and you said you started in wholesale and house flipping. Tell me a little bit about that, and then about the transition that you made to real estate.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So it's super exciting. I started, I would say, kind of fresh out of college. I had a great mentor. He was local, and he kind of just guided me through the process of how to flip a house, how to create value, how to transform a home. And I immediately just fell in love with the process. I worked in remodeling. I worked with multiple contractors. My strength has been home service. So I actually ran a resurfacing company for 8 years, actually. And so I got to really understand firsthand what commercial and residential real estate is, and
Hmm.
just working with like your local contractors, your HVAC, your people that wear multiple hats every single day. And and eventually got licensed in 2021. I always been a person of wearing multiple hats, and I love that. Like, I really think it's fun. I love the hustle. However, I will say that, it gets to the point where wearing multiple hats doesn't help you scale, doesn't help you grow, really drives you crazy. And so it came to a point where I said, okay, well, look, AI is doing so many things for people. What can it do for us as agents, as business owners, as, team builders? And that's what really caught my attention, is really looking into how AI can serve us, support us, and really be an assistant. And so I really think AI is here to help us grow and help us make that personal touch more us, because we're not
Hmm.
super busy handling routine tasks like phone calls and appointments. Now we're actually,
Hmm.
with our client face to face, serving, being more efficient, which is what truly matters, that connection.
You're doing what you're good at, and basically being able to, by doing what you're good at, you're able to create income and save
Hmm.
time to be with your friends and family and do things that are more meaningful, right? So
Hmm.
I think it's really interesting though that for me, I thought like, wow, Yamili is starting an AI company. Like there's just so many AI programs out there. So, and I know for myself, that'd be nothing that I would think to myself, like, oh, I'm going to start one. I would try to figure out how to use one. But I
Mhm.
find that it's hard because they don't do exactly what you need. So, was
Mhm.
the impetus for that that you were finding this something similar and you were thinking, like, we can train something to do what exactly it is that we need?
Yeah, totally. I mean, so I focus a lot on my local network. For me, it's more about that personal touch, the relationships that you build. I'm not huge on social media. For me, I use it more
Hmm.
for personal purposes. And so what my network started telling me is like, hey, show me what you're doing with AI. I miss phone calls. I get a lot of spam. I'm
Hmm.
overwhelmed with everything. So I started showing it to a few local agents and friends, and they said, wow, like this is something that I absolutely need because I'm working late. It's 8 or 9. I want to spend time with my family. I can't be on the phone all the time. What does
Yeah.
AI do?
Yeah.
So if I can just explain what Jobi AI does, essentially it's an AI assistant that answers the phone, captures leads, it books appointments, it's, literally handling the phone calls that I'm out on a showing, I'm not available to answer every single call, but I still want to develop and I still want to deliver that personal experience. So
Yeah.
what AI helps me to do is be more efficient, and it actually just books the call directly on my calendar, and it answers questions, and it's there to assist, to support me. And I think that's what we really need, as entrepreneurs, is we really need a
Hmm.
system, we need a process in order to be able to scale. We really need to lean on others, whether that's AI, whether that's virtual assistants, whether that's, your local team or an executive assistant. But the thing is that, real estate it's gone into so many avenues now that we really need to train the AI to do exactly what we need it to do. And what I love about it is that it's fully customizable to your needs.
That is so cool. I just love the idea of that. I'm gonna let
Mm.
Desi in actually. She just jumped in here. So we'll just
Awesome.
get started. We'll be
Mhm.
able to edit this out. So we'll edit. Hi.
Hello. I am so
Hi.
sorry I'm late. That
That
little
is
guy was sleeping.
okay. Desi, meet Yamili.
Hi,
Hi.
Desi. Nice to meet you. You're out there doing business. That's what we're meant to do. So, of
I
course.
know. I know. Well,
I'm
and I was
like,
telling you, you
I'm
go ahead.
2 minutes from my office, so I'm just like driving really quick, but I'll be in my
Okay.
office in like 2 minutes if you guys are cool to just
We'll
Totally.
just
wait.
hang.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hang. Your hair looks great. I like
Mhm.
the like reddy, like
I
would you
know.
like
It's
a maroon
pretty.
color? It's so pretty.
Thank you. Yes, I just added that. It's fun.
Oh,
That is
I love it.
beautiful.
Do you wanna just like bump off and then we'll bump you back in and kind of get started
Sure.
again, or what do you want to do? Like we
Um,
started, so I did an intro and
okay, perfect.
Yamili's just was talking about her Jobi AI, which is amazing. Like I feel like I need it in my
Okay.
life already. So, and then what we'll do is we'll just wait for you till the next question. So I'll wait till you pop
Okay.
on. Okay,
Okay,
sounds good.
perfect. I'll be
Okay,
back on in just a sec.
okay,
Okay, bye.
sounds good.
Yay, want to keep her safe. I'm like, focus on the road.
I know, I know. She's always driving and talking on the phone.
Hmm.
She's like,
Yeah. Well,
okay,
see,
so
that's
I
why
need,
I like will be answering the phone.
I know. Well, like, I guess something I'm just really curious about is how did you decide that you wanted to build it? Like, I get the problem was, but why didn't you just use a different like somebody else's program? Why did you decide that you wanted to? I think that that's the part that I'm just like so interested in.
Yes, yeah, no, I think that's a great question. So, previously running an actual company, right?
Yeah.
Working with contractors and managing and hiring people, firing people, it was tough, and I think most business owners can relate and understand that,
Hmm.
hey, I need a team, right? However,
Hmm.
we as humans are humans, right? Like we show up with a mood, we have bad days, we get an attitude sometimes, we're tired,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
what really attracted me to AI is that, like, hey, I can lean on technology, I can use it as a tool. I know it can do so many things. I know it's, a
Hmm.
trainable system. And so I really started looking at it as how can it support me specifically. I wanted to be more personal, and I wanted to be, beyond what Chat GPT can do. And so,
Right.
I just started researching the technology, and I knew that AI assistants were going to be the next thing. And so I said, okay, well, let's apply it to me and let's see how it can serve and support others.
I think that's just so interesting. So, did you have a partner that, do you know somebody that's in the industry, or did you research? How did you end up getting it started? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I joined a community, so Prolific SaaS. I really started, doing my research and looking at who's being successful in this industry. And so I got connected with a group of individuals who have been doing this, and I really learned how to do it. But very quickly, I said, technology is going to be one of the areas where maybe I'm not as strong in, so I need to put together a team that can help and support me, because there's the marketing piece and there's a technology piece, and
Mhm.
it's early on where I need to focus on my strengths, which is sales and promotion.
So you're testing and working with the team, and you're actually working with Joby. So to catch you up, Desi, Yamili's got Joby on her phone as her AI assistant. While we were talking earlier, it booked a meeting for her. So she took a call. It what's the word I'm looking for? It like went through the questions, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
booked a meeting later today.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. And I love what
I
you're
know.
saying about like you maybe didn't have the skill set to necessarily do the technology, so you partnered with people who did have that
Mhm,
skill set because I think a lot of times agents are like, "Oh, I have to do it all myself."
mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they just have that like lack of delegation mindset. But I love
Mm-hmm.
how powerful it is to partner with people who like that is their skill set. That's what they are good at.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
and
and
the
we
other
talked
thing
about
that,
how, yeah.
oh, I was just gonna say, the other thing that Yamili brought up was something that I think we all run into is the personal side of real estate. And or just business in general. And it's the hard
Mm-hmm.
part of hiring and training the right person, and then firing, or it doesn't work out. I mean, we've dealt with
Mm-hmm.
that. I know Desi and we constantly have conversations about that. And it is true that an AI assistant would really help alleviate that additional stress that I know I find. Like I find that I'm super emotional about the people that I bring into the world, into my world.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm always, it actually kind of runs you down, right? And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you could remove that piece, then you could really focus on business.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say with the AI too, it's probably way better at doing it than an actual human because humans forget stuff and they have like,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
but with the AI, it's like if so. I know I got here a little bit late, so tell me how. So does it just like it listened to your phone call and booked a meeting from that?
Yeah, yeah. So just to kind of briefly catch you up to speed, like basically it's an AI assistant that's on my phone. So let's say I get a phone call, random phone call, sometimes it's spam, sometimes it's a new lead, right? Like it literally, I prompted it to follow a script, and it will ask, are you looking to buy, sell, invest, or are you an agent that's working with Yamili on a deal? And so depending on that prompt, it'll say, it'll respond accordingly. Obviously, I have also prompted it to promote Jobi AI, and it could be my mom calling. So,
Yeah.
sometimes I say, hey, something else, or do a direct transfer. Like if someone doesn't want to talk to AI, I'm not going to push it, so it'll just transfer me. But by the way, it'll say Yamili's probably an appointment. She's serving a client. She might not be able to get back to you quickly. However, I can assist in booking an appointment. So it'll actually look at my calendar. It booked an appointment for 3 p.m. today, and it'll actually propose openings, and it's booked on my calendar. They get a confirmation, they get a reminder, they get a Zoom call, like an actual link if it's typically over Zoom, and it's done and it's on my calendar. I know we're going to talk, so I'm not stressed about the phone. And the biggest thing is, like,
Love
we
that.
know that if we miss a phone call, that could be a deal. And
Yeah.
nowadays people are so impatient into like, I'll just talk to the next person. So hey, at least I spoke with, I have an appointment on my calendar, and, one missed phone call can be a missed deal. And, for the previous home service contractors that I work with, that's one job that they missed. So that's why it's
Wow.
Jobi, because it's meant to do a job. It's meant to book jobs. It's meant to, book
Oh,
opportunities.
like
So that's why
Joby.
Jobi, yeah, like Jobi, it'll book a job for you. That's kind of how it started. It started with the
Oh,
home-based service in mind. Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's brilliant. That's so cool.
That is amazing.
Well, and then it gives you more time to run marathons. I saw that you've been running marathons, and that takes a lot
Yes.
of time, like a
A lot
lot
of
of training.
training,
Yeah.
a lot
Training.
of
Yeah.
patience. Yes. And
Hmm.
so, and I mean, recently I set a big, bold new mission, which I kind of wanted to share on this podcast because I think it's going to be next level for me. And I think the AI company is going to give me more time to do that. It's going to help me do more real estate transactions, serve more people. But I have a big mission to raise $1 million, and that's to support causes that I love and that matter to me, that are making an impact in the world. And so I want to raise $1 million within the next 2 years. And it would be my goal that AI helps me to do that, because they'll be more efficient and I'll be able to serve more people, and I'll be able to help more agents, and also my the people in my team, the people that are local and that are growing. So it's a big mission of mine.
Absolutely love that. You're just like so philanthropic. My mouth totally different. Philanthropic. I just like
Yes.
it's just I for me, I know that's really important too. It's like you want to make money so you can give back, right? And
Hmm.
and there's a certain capacity that we all have where we kind of cap out. And something like
Hmm.
this AI is going to be able to help you be able to work at that goal. And I have no doubt that you're going to accomplish it. That's amazing.
Totally. I totally love it. And so, like, tell me, and I know I'm not interviewing, but like, what intrigues you about AI? I'm just so curious because I mean, both of you are successful agents in your markets. Like, what's the big confusion, or your intrigue that you have? Because it helps me to, get feedback and learn so I can improve it for people like yourselves.
Well, for me, I think it's kind of like when the internet first came out, right? There were some people who were like, ah, World Wide Web, that's not going to stick around. And they didn't embrace it. And so for me, it's like,
Hmm.
well, how can I take AI and have it help me elevate the service that I'm providing to my customers and my clients?
Mhm.
And how can I use it to make my life easier? Because I really believe that the agents that don't embrace it and don't learn it are going to be left behind. And so it almost
Mhm.
causes me a little anxiety because I'm not great with technology. And so, like, figuring out how to use something is it really challenging for me. And so it's it's almost anxiety, like I have to learn this or else I'm going to be left behind. But then it's also like
Hmm.
this could
Hmm.
be a huge, exciting opportunity and a huge tool to give me back some of my time without having to
Hmm.
hire another employee that I have to manage and
Hmm.
train. And if they're not good, fire. Like I hate doing that. So.
That's the piece for me too, Desi and Yamili. Like I can see that it's so useful. Like I want to learn it so bad. I have, I've joined masterminds and courses and I try to work on
Hmm.
it in the evenings. But the piece I find challenging is that there's just so many options and it
Hmm.
is spending the time training. There's just it's again, it's a time problem, right? Which
Hmm.
we both share. And like I get anxiety. Like Desi was saying, I feel
Hmm.
anxious about it because I know it's so important. I want to figure it out so badly. And then everything I read, it's like, well, you have to set aside the time to do this. It's like, I don't have the
Hmm.
time, you know? Like, I don't have the time to do this. So the idea of somebody building something out that is real estate specific, and yes, I think I do have some time for some training, but I don't have the time like that you've been putting into this project to build something
Hmm.
out that's really going to work for
Hmm.
you. I feel like that's
Hmm.
really cool. That's
Hmm.
so neat.
Yes, thank you
Sign
so
me
much for
up.
sharing that feedback. Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for sharing that with me, because I think that when I first started looking into this, that was my frame of mind. Like, how can I serve more people? How can it truly help? Because there's just so much confusion and so many tools. And so, when I started teaming up with people who have been in this space, because I mean, AI hasn't been, it's not fairly new, it still has been around. However, how can we apply it to us and how can we
Yeah.
make it where it's a supportive tool and it assists us as opposed to, take away from us. So because time is the most valuable resource, because we all know that we're supposed to be focusing on our highest producing activities, I think it's not about like learning the programming and learning the back end of it, which I can talk about for hours, how you can change the voice, how it can speak multiple languages, how like my mom was at Wendy's the other day, like ordering with AI, and like it is just like the way forward, the way how fast it's evolved. And I'll be honest with you, it's not perfect. It's not 100% there, but we are getting it closer to doing what we needed to do. Like I just needed to book appointments for me. I need to make sure that my clients know that they're taken care of. I need to know that, hey, I'm driving. It's not safe for me to answer the phone right now, but I'm still taking care of you, and like you're on my calendar and I'm
Yeah.
here to answer questions. And so like the things that AI can do these days, like it can text, it can remind people of appointments. Like it's just so much that I don't really think we need to learn the ins and outs and the back end of it. Like I just needed to do one thing and like answer the phone, make sure I don't miss a deal. Like just if you can do that
That's
one
it.
thing and that's all I care about. Yeah.
I actually really like how you simplified it. Like, I just need this
Mhm.
one thing done. And it's the
Mhm.
most important thing in our job is speed to lead, picking up the phone. Because I see that in so many people's bios when we talk to them about like, what do you think made you successful? And it's we pick up the phone. I know that's mine. It's like I
Mhm.
pick up the phone, man. Like, and it's hard sometimes. So then I'll forward it to
Yeah.
my assistant, and sometimes she can't pick up the phone. So it's like if you can have this taken one piece taken care of, like the stress, it would take off just
Mhm.
like my heart. And then like I do think, and this is a question for you, is do you feel like people are getting more and more used to talking to AI? I think in the beginning people were like, ugh, I don't want to. But
Mhm.
now people are
Mhm.
more open to it. How many people do you have go through direct to you when they don't want to talk to AI?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question. It really depends on who is calling, right? Like if it's my mom, she wants to talk to me, right? But if it's like, a new lead, like if it's a new lead, they want to know, okay, like who is this person about? And if anything, they see that, oh, she has an assistant, she's next level. And like, here's the thing, it all depends on how you train the AI. So I train the AI to be warm, to be friendly, to never lie. Like it says, I'm an AI assistant. And the technology is moving so fast where you can even add your own voice. And so I never want to mislead people. I always want to say like what matters is that there's a personal connection and that touch, where we as agents take pride in, right? Like we want to take care of our clients. And so what I'm finding, it's a little bit mixed. I think people, just depending on their intent, they're open. I mean, they're certainly open, but they're also like it depends on how on the approach, right? Like
Yeah,
nowadays there's, like I said, technology is moving at a super fast rate. Like you can now even train AI outbound agents where now they're making the phone calls, to your expireds, to your, separate lists. So
yeah.
that's the next level. So it depends on, like whether you're on the receiving end, whether you're on the other end.
Do you
And
think it's like
people,
the age? Do you think it's like an age? Sorry, there. I just was thinking about, is it like there's certain age groups are more open to it than others still? Like, so would there be a demographic that's like, no, I want to talk to Yamili beep kind of thing,
mm-hmm.
or I don't like this. Can you can Joby track that? Like how many people just like hang up, how many people go through?
Mm-hmm.
She
Yeah,
I feel like
absolutely.
Joby's a
Yeah.
girl. Does she track that?
Yeah, so Jovi can be a girl, it can be a man. Like I can switch the
Yeah.
voice in an instant, and
Yeah.
and so the cool thing is that it actually pushes all of the recordings, all the numbers, emails, phone numbers, everything into my CRM. So I can track it, I can see, like, I can listen into the recording if people are getting annoyed, if people just want to like bypass. So it's a trackable system. My experience working with contractors, I noticed that they don't pick up the phone. And, sometimes if I'm
Yes.
calling, I'm
Mm-hmm.
annoyed because you're not picking up the phone. Like that's, and I get people are busy, but I rather
Mm-hmm.
talk to somebody that tells me, hey, we're going to call you back. Here's a scheduled call back.
Yeah.
Here's a text message. I feel more taken care of as a client if someone does pick up the phone, no matter who does, than to, well, I'm going to call the next person, right? I'm going to go to Google and call the next person on the list. And so I feel like AI enables us that duplication, right? Without like
Yeah.
fully cloning myself, because no one will ever be me. Like no one will ever be Elizabeth or Desi.
Mm-hmm.
Like your personality, it's not gonna shine through an AI. It's still like you gotta try it and call it and just see and train it to get there. But that personal human touch, I just think will not be replaceable by AI.
No, I agree. And that's the piece where it's like the authenticity. And, but then the other thing is, then we can lean into that, right? So it's like we've got more
Mm-hmm.
time, we're less tired or anxious. We can be more our authentic selves. We can do, I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
know you said you don't use social media as much as say Desi and I, but then we have time to do those social media things. And you might be doing a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more of that in the future because you'll have more time after you're done getting
Yeah.
this off the
Mm-hmm.
ground. I'm so excited
Mm-hmm.
about this, Yamili. I mean, honestly, like I feel like we need to
Mm-hmm.
book another call where I call Jobi. Don't you think, Desi? Wouldn't
Yes.
that be so fun
I
if
think
we
so too.
called
I
it
think it's
and like
awesome.
went
Mm-hmm.
through? And I was also thinking
Mm-hmm.
we've got to have her on our mastermind group
Yeah.
because I just think this is so fascinating. And I mean, you didn't, Desi, you weren't here earlier, but like Yamili is just, she's dabbled in so many aspects of real estate. So, she's been a house flipper, she's worked with wholesalers, she buys cash deals, and she focuses a lot on off market, which I'm very interested in as well. We're going to have to catch up with
Mm-hmm.
her again on that though, because we're running out of time. And I know
Mm-hmm.
we really wanted to talk about Jobi today because like, I I literally feel like excited, like I need to sign up right now. Like I just am like, and I know everybody listening is going to be thinking the same thing. Like how can they find you? How can they find Jobi? How can they find Yamili?
Yes, so they can follow me on Instagram. It's just my name, Yamili Quezada, and get Jobi AI right now. It's online, it's live. Right now, I have niched it down to, essentially home service based businesses. However, I am going to start opening it up more to just real estate and focusing, honing down on my expertise there. But again, I come from home service. I come from essentially just being able to help people in any way that I can. If we can all succeed together, I love how we have that
I
community
love that.
to grow and just continue thriving. So I love just everything that you both ladies are doing. It's such like it rocks my world to see your success.
Oh, thank you. And same to you. Same to you. This is so exciting. So
Mhm.
we can get people in touch with you and we'll drop it in the comments below when we launch the podcast.
Mhm.
And I know people are going to be thrilled about
Mhm.
this. You're going to have no problems in raising your goal of $1 million to give back to the community, hands down.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
so
much for
much,
having
Yamili.
me.